by Allen Ginsberg called Hadda be played on a jukebox. Hadda be flashing like the Daily Double. Hadda be playing on TV. Hadda be loudmouthed on the Comedy Hour. Hadda be announced over loudspeakers. The CIA and Mafia are in cahoots. And it had to be said in old lady's language. It had to be said in American headlines. Kennedy stretched and smiled and got double-crossed by love life goons and agents. Rich bankers with criminal connections. Dope pushers in CIA, working with dope pushers from Cuba, working with big-time syndicate Tampa, Florida. And it had to be said with a big mouth. Had to be moaned over factory foghorns. Had to be chattered on car radio news broadcast. Had to be screamed in the kitchen. Had to be yelled in the basement where uncles were fighting. Had to be howled on the streets by newsboys to bus conductors. Had to be foghorned in the New York Harbor. Had to echo under hard hats. Had to turn up the volume in the university ballrooms. Had to be written in library books, footnoted. Had to be in the headlines of the Times and Le Monde. Had to be barked over TV. Had to be heard inside alleys through barroom doors. Had to be played on wire services. Had to be bells ringing, comedians stopped dead in the middle of a joke in Las Vegas. Had to be FBI Chief J. Edgar Hoover and Frank Costello, syndicate mouthpiece, meeting in Central Park, New York together weekends, reported Time magazine. It had to be the Mafia and the CIA together. Started war on Cuba, Bay of Pigs and poison assassination headlines. Had to be the dope cops and the Mafia. Sold all that heroin in America. Had to be the FBI and organized crime, working together in cahoots against the commies. Cash registers, worldwide laundry for organized criminal money. Had to be the CIA and the Mafia and the FBI together. They were bigger than Nixon. They were bigger than war. Had to be a gorge throat full of murder. Had to be a mouth and ass, a solid mass of rage, a red hot head, a scream in the back of the throat. Had to be in Kissinger's brain. Had to be in Rockefeller's mouth. Had to be the Central Intelligence, the family, our thing, the agency Mafia. One big set of criminal gangs working together in cahoots. Hitmen, murderers everywhere, outraged on the make. For the secret, the drunk, the brutal, and the dirty rich. On top of a slag heap of prisons, industrial cancer, plutonium smog, garbage cities, grandma's bed sores, and father's resentments. Had to be the rulers. They wanted law and order, and they got rich on wanted protection for the status quo. They wanted justice. competition man to man. The horse's head in the capo's bed. The Cuban turf and rumbles, hitmen and gang wars across oceans. Bombing Cambodia settled the score when Soviet pilots manned Egyptian fighter planes. Chile's red democracy bumped off with White House pots and pans. A warning to Mediterranean governments. Secret police embraced for decades. The NKVD and CIA keep each other's secrets. The OGPU and DIA never hit their own. The KGB and FBI, one mind, brute force, worldwide, and full of money. 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 And full of money. And full of money. And full of money. They had to be rich. They had to be powerful. They had to murder in Indonesia 500,000. Had to murder in Indochina 2 million. Had to murder in Czechoslovakia. Had to murder in Chile. Had to murder in Russia. And had to murder in America.